Hello everyone. In the respiration in plants, we have already seen some of the experiments, and by now we understand that what are the requirements in order to perform respiration. So, the factors which affect the rate of respiration are number one is temperature. Temperature is directly proportional to rate of respiration. So, if there is increase in temperature, then the rate of respiration will increase. So, amount of ATP production will also increase. The temperature range in which the respiration occurs in maximum amount is 0 to 30 degrees. But if further increase is seen beyond 35 degree of temperature, then the protoplasm of the cell it gets injured and the enzymes will not be capable of acting upon the substances like the carbohydrates and the proteins and lipids in order to produce the energy, and it will lead towards decrease in the rate of respiration. Below 0 degree centigrade the rate of respiration is always decreased because the enzymes they are not functional, and for optimum functionality of an enzyme the temperature must be within 30 to 35 degrees. Beyond that it creates problem, and even less than 0 degree is also a problem. Next important uh, requirement is of oxygen. Oxygen is required for oxidation of nutrients. So if you see the reaction of respiration, you will see that glucose C6H12O6 is added with oxygen, and oxygen acts as an agent which provides the environment or makes the environment which is capable of acting upon the carbonated sugar or any kind of food material which is to be broken down into smaller portions. So the concentration of oxygen must be around 5% for the process of respiration to occur. If the percentage of oxygen decreases than 5%, then the rate of respiration will decrease. The importance of this oxygen can also be thought of if you remember the experiments which we have discussed, and even if you think about life example. Most of the farmers before putting the seeds for germination, they till the land, they loosen up the soil, and for doing that some of the times they use tractors and other times some other machinery for just loosening the soil. And as the soil is loosened, it allows some of the oxygen particles or molecules to be trapped within it, and this makes the process of germination easy. And germination can only take place in respiration, or for germination respiration is to take place until and unless a small plantlet is formed. Next important phenomena or substance is the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide increases the concentration of, or with an increase in concentration of carbon dioxide, the rate of respiration decreases, because if you see the environment it will become acidic, more carbonic acid will be formed, and that will make the environment acidic, pH of the environment will be changed, and aerobic respiration will not be favored. So that's why carbon dioxide percentage must be less in the air in order to let respiration occur. And what will happen if the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere or surrounding gets lowered, it it will increase the rate of respiration as a whole. Next is about the light and water. If the intensity of light increases, the rate of respiration will also increase. Although light is indirectly proportional or indirectly affecting the rate of respiration, but still it affects it. Now think that because of light, the stomata will open and the gaseous exchange will be there. So oxygen will be capable of moving inside, and I'm sorry, carbon dioxide will be able to move inside, and it will be increasing the rate of photosynthesis. As the rate of photosynthesis will increase, more amount of food like glucose will be formed, and that glucose can be degraded only if more amount of glucose is present. So indirectly it is affecting. So with increase in light intensity, the amount of starch will be formed, more amount of starch will be formed, and if starch is there, then only it will be broken down in order to produce ATP, or in order to perform respiration. Water is the next important factor affecting respiration. The amount of water in a cell increases the rate of respiration because it provides a medium for the reaction to occur. All the chemical reactions, they all require some medium. So water serves as a medium for initiating the chemical reaction which occurs in a biomolecule, which is sugar, and it combines with oxygen to form carbon dioxide, water, and energy. This is the information about the factors responsible for respiration. What is the significance of respiration? Energy is liberated in the form of ATP. The liberated energy can be utilized in order to perform various metabolic functions or activities of the plant. It can be downhill movement of water or nutrients, transport of certain food particles, even repair of the plant. Everything will be taking place with the help of this energy, which is formed as an end product of respiration. Liberation of carbon dioxide during respiration helps in maintaining the carbon cycle. You all have studied carbon cycle. You will see that respiration re- releases carbon dioxide. So there is just 0.03% of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and it is maintained only by the process of respiration. Next important thing which we should discuss is the respiration and photosynthesis, how they are interrelated. Respiration is opposite to photosynthesis. If you see the process of photosynthesis, the end product of photosynthesis is used to do respiration. What is the end product of photosynthesis? It is C6H12O6, that is glucose, and respiration utilizes this C6H12O6 in order to form or in order to produce energy. So photosynthesis is forming something, and respiration is breaking down the same thing which is formed in order to produce energy. Respiration is a destructive process as a whole. You see, in respiration, what we are doing, we are taking a molecule, a biomolecule like glucose, and breaking down the glucose in order to produce energy, and that's why it is known as a catabolic process. You must learn the term catabolic. Whereas photosynthesis is a constructive process where the carbon dioxide and water molecules in presence of solar light and chlorophyll form the glucose, and it is a anabolic process. So catabolism and anabolism are two phenomena or two terms which you all should learn. Respiration is performed by all the cells, and and why is it done? In order to fulfill the requirement of energy. So ATP molecules are formed, whereas in photosynthesis, food is prepared itself. Like glucose is just prepared by the process of photosynthesis by utilizing the chlorophyll. Respiration helps in breaking the food which is produced, and photosynthesis helps in preparing the food. Respiration results in loss of dry weight. Now, what is the meaning of dry weight? If you just take a plant and dry it, let it in, let it be uprooted from the soil and let it dry in the sun for a couple of days, say 10-15 days, and then after you crush it, or you just take the plant and take its weight. The weight of that plant initially, first of all, when you are uprooting the plant, that time only just weigh the plant. Whatever the weight of the plant is, that is the normal weight of the plant. Dry weight will be after keeping the plant in sun dried condition for 3 to 4 days, not 3 to 4 days, even more than that, 10-15 days also. The complete water removal of the plant has to be taking place before we measure it. When you measure the dry weight of the same plant after placing in sunlight for around 10 to 15 days, then you will see that there is a huge change in the mass of the cell or the weight of the entire plant from the day when you had just uprooted it till the day when it is completely dried. And this difference is the dry weight. Now whatever the weight is, or you can think of the right now weight is dry weight, whereas the difference is the amount of water which is present in the plant. But photosynthesis helps in increasing the dry weight. How the photosynthesis is helping in increasing the dry weight? By accumulation of glucose. More accumulation of starch or glucose will be there, which will lead towards increase in total weight of the plant. Now, why is the plant becoming of light as we are keeping it in sunlight? Because for its survival, it is using all the amount of sugar which is present. So at first, it is utilizing 100% sugar which is present, and then after it is getting dried up. So that's why um, the dry weight is less than the normal weight. Now, what is compensation point? As the name suggests, it is the equilibrium point. So when the rate of photosynthesis and rate of respiration is equivalent in the environment, basically in the evening or in the early morning this happens. At that time there is no net exchange of gases taking place, because the amount of carbon dioxide produced is utilized by the same plant for photosynthesis. So just try to read it and try to understand. It just means that when the rate of photosynthesis and the rate of respiration becomes equivalent, and there is no net exchange of gases taking place in the plant, that means that the amount of oxygen given out by the green plants is just sufficient to carry out the respiration process, and the amount of carbon dioxide given out during respiration is just sufficient for photosynthesis to occur. That is known as the compensation point. This happens in low intensity of light, either in the early morning or in the late evening. And during this time, a equilibrium point is maintained in the atmosphere by no further exchange of gases. So, thank you very much. I hope everyone has understood it.